Anyway, Jen, how are you, my G?
Brother,
you're a G.
Come on,
Like,
girl.
literally,
Speak to man for an hour and a half, then ask him how he is.
Innit?
No,
I've
no.
been here for time.
Who
Anyway,
raised you?
Jen, how
Who raised
been?
you?
Yeah.
Excuse the pun.
Yeah.
Man's a G. What's going on? It's the first time I've actually, like, we've spoken in that.
That's
the first time we've actually met.
First
Oh,
time
is
we've
it?
met,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
People are bare like,
Bare,
you and
like,
Chucks.
long voice
Bare
notes and
voice
chatting
notes.
and whatever.
Bruv,
But
you
yeah,
know
now I had to have you here and have
Thank
a
you, my
conversation
bro.
with you, man.
Getting back to what you said about not having like just bare random people on there for me to be on there. But you know me as well, I'm a fan of your thing. So I was bare gassed. I rang up all my brethren. I was like, bro, you know the thing that I watch every day, you know man's gonna be on it. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm good, bro. Honestly, you of all people, you know more about what's been going on with me than some of my own brethren.
Yeah, it's mad.
Which is
Well,
mad.
how often do you two speak to each other?
Not a lot.
Not a lot, but
Not a lot. I
when
think it was just when we did speak, like we just talked in some extreme depth. Sometimes it just happens like that. Do you get me? Do you know what I mean? I think like when you reached out, this is what had happened. I think I had seen something of you on the internet time ago, and then me and Benny, our good friend, we was doing a live night called Neighborhood Live or something like that. I can't even remember now. And we was looking for some people, and I was thinking, like, there's this kid called Jen, like, he's sick, whatever. Like, I'd like to get you on it or whatever. And we spoke, like, just lightly about it. Like, I reached out to you, we talked or whatever. But then, like, for whatever reason, you wasn't able to make it. Obviously, now, in hindsight, you was going through whatever you was going through. Yeah. But then, like, I hadn't heard or seen him for ages, yeah? And then you messaged me on Snapchat and was just like, yeah, boy, I'm like, I'll watch your thing or whatnot. And then I was thinking, yeah, like, what's going on? What's happening with you? And that was when we just kind of started to talk or whatever. Yeah. But like, no, for people who obviously you don't know, like, talk a little bit about like where you come from. Yeah, like where you come from. Like, what do you, what goes on in your life? Tell me about your early childhood in London and everything like that.
Boy, you want a full introduction? I'll keep it brief. All right, so first of all, listen, man wasn't born in Essex. I'm tired of you lot, yeah. Essex boy, all that nonsense. Our man was born and raised in the Caribbean in St. Lucia. And obviously, a bit of a wild childhood, but you know what I mean? It is what it is.
It is, of course.
You know, we're black, that's how it goes. And then obviously, mom and dad split up when I was young. I came in when I was about 10 because my dad moved to the country. And then, man, that man's just been here since I've been about 10. I went to school in East London, around Chadwell Heath, Essex side, Barking and Dagenham and all that. And, man, bro, I didn't even know what grime was when I came to the country, fam. Yeah. Didn't know what grime was. And then, obviously, growing up in St. Lucia is just soca, calypso, bashment, and a little bit of hip-hop and that from the US. That was our influence and that. But I came over here and I was like, what's this grime nonsense, fam? Bare man speaking bare quick. And then, I've always been a musical guy because my dad was a music promoter, my mum dancing. Like, there's always been entertainment and like arts in my whole family. So I grew up on Beres Hammond and Jar Cure and just come on, cuz. Wow. So I've always been a musical guy. And then I came here and then I saw brothers on the playground just dropping bars and I thought, oh, what's this? So and I just started just messing about doing that. And everyone was like, yeah, you're cold, you know. Come on. What a night. Jeez, come on, cuz. What a night, what a night.
Sorry, go on anyway.
Chucks is on a mad ones.
I wanted a dub plate of that, but I couldn't get it.
Oh, shit. Yeah. So I was in the playground, just started dropping bars and that, and then flipping.
So did you just do the grime thing because just everyone else was on it at that time? Like, in the playground, everyone's just got bars. You got somebody that's gonna fucking run an instrument or just
off the Sony Ericsson.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it was one of them things. Like someone just running them beats, and I just went to look and see what's this, and then I've been writing music since I was a kid, but it was more like just rap, and then like them ones where you're just singing to yourself when you're 5 years old and them thing. Like I've always done it, but I've never actually dropped bars, and it's not until I came in I thought, oh, you know what, this is a bit wavy, and I started appreciating grime more than I did hip hop because I was like, bro, this tempo's bare quick. Like how are these man finding these pockets? How are they doing all this? So I started studying people like obviously my idol Gets and all that. Obviously Skepta, big up Skeps. He was like one of the first people I actually heard of in terms of grime, and I was just like, yo, this is mad. And obviously JME and all this and that, which is why I'm bare just honoured to even be sitting next to Julie. And I'm
not nothing like them, don't worry.
Yeah, I know, but come on.
I'm not even
you come from
I'm not even here. They're not really.
Yeah, so I literally just started just trying a thing, whatever, and everyone was like, yeah, bro, like, you're cold, and I had that little Caribbean sound to me and all that, with the grime thing, and then literally Kizzle, who was like the best MC in the school, he was like, yeah, you're gonna be my younger, yeah, you know them things, yeah, and I was like, oh, Kizzle, fam, because obviously I was like, bro, he's cold, and then they was like, yeah, and basically I would join like an idiot, so I ended up in like a gang and all that, because my dad, long story, went jail. We're not going to talk about that, but he got the maddest sentence and that. So I literally was in this country on my own since I was, I don't know, about 14, 15.
So when you say like you was on your own, like who was you living with?
So when my dad went jail, because that happened in Chadwell Heath when they knocked the door down and all that. And I'm such a madman. I remember that morning that happened. I fully tried going back to bed, as if police didn't just run up in the yard.
Serious?
I was on a bunk bed and I thought, you know what, just get 5 minutes sleep.
Who was on what pot? Was you on the top or the bottom?
The top bunk.
Who was on the bottom?
My stepbrother.
Oh, okay. I know, it's just key.
Yeah. He's thinking
I've always wanted to have a bunk bed. When I was young, I wanted a bunk bed. I was the only child.
It was sick.
Wait, what's the gap between you and your stepbrother?
Did you?
He's a few years older than me, like.
Did he used to lie on the bottom bunk and put his feet between the fingers?
Oh my God! Yes! The fact that you even know that is a madness.
Yeah, if we didn't go, like, we didn't have money to go Fort Park and that, so we used to that was like a ride.
He used to proper like, you don't understand.
That was like going on stealth. Like, you lie on the top bunk and
I was proper like,
two of us would get underneath and you just put your feet in between like the slats, the wooden slats.
The metal
you just kick the mattress up and you're on the top bunk
you're like this.
That was sick.
That was live. So that must have been happening a few hours before Feds kicked down the door.
We was having a great time.
I was having a great time.
And then the police turned up.
It's mad. So that happened, and then I remember I fully didn't go to school that day. I literally just went to Kizzle's yard, and I was like, "I might stay with you for a bit." So big up Kizzle. That's why I always quote him in all my bars, because that guy's really looks after me, fam. So just literally, and that's when I became like the bars, because all I used to do was just go around his yard. All the man would just be smoking weed, doing all them. I don't smoke, but I literally just was in that room, little box room, literally hot, like a quarter size of this room, just bars constantly. We were recording a song every day, like every single day, and I was like 14, 15, whatever it was. So that happened. And when you say going back to how I was in the country on my own, I was basically staying with a family friend, big up Debs, and she's like a family friend, so I basically call her my aunt. And I was there for like a few years. When I got to like 17, I started working in sales, and then I got into recruitment from sales, and I started making a bit of peas. And I was like, geez. So man, I moved out, got a little place in Canning Town, relaxed there for a bit, and then obviously I moved to where I am now, which is Ilford, like Barkingside.
Okay.
So I've always been literally on my own since I came here, and then the music thing just came from, like I said, just being on the field, fam. Just life, you know them ones. That's how it happens with all of us.
Of course.
Just talking about what's going on in the ends, just being little rascals, just kebab shop, 6 wings and chips, all them thing there. Save up a $5, go Chinese.
Kebab shops and chicken shops are like a big part of childhood. Isn't
it? You know what? I talked about this to my boy yesterday, because I was at a chicken shop yesterday, and I was like, bro, this made our life, fam.
Yeah.
Like
everyone was either like Sam's or Morley's or right by my school. I was lucky. I had McDonald's, so we was high. We was high
Shut
end.
up, you at McDonald's.
We couldn't afford them.
Did you go to McDonald's?
No, we went to a place called Blue Moon.
Blue Moon.
That sounds expensive, was that?
No, we used to get cheeseburger and chips with onions and burger sauce for £2.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to go to McDonald's so often that the manager just knew me and used to just pattern me up with with something like all the time for free. So I'd get like, after a while I'd get like I'd buy the burger and then he would just fling in like an apple pie.
That's what I mean.
And
that's
when you got the apple pie for free, oh my god.
That's like that kebab place in Marskay where we used to like chill in Rose Lane and that, and then there was a kebab shop that sold like a kebab wrap with like chips and drink for like £2. So all I used to do was just walk around the ends. And because by that time it was like, General's the guy, he's got bars like known around the ends, so I used to use that to my advantage to go to people and be like, what are you saying, can you borrow me a pound? They'd be like, yeah. And they wanted to give me a pound them times. I was like, take a pound from them, go to someone else, you got a pound. That's what I used to do every day, and I got £2. And
Shabazz used to do this shit. So Terminator, I went to school with Terminator,
Oh really?
Oh my!
Serious?
Oh,
I love this.
I've never met him.
I love
Terminator.
Him so much. One of my, you know those people in school that met, sick footballer. You know those people in school that made school. Shabazz made school. Shabazz used to go around school every day. He had
Terminator is a MC, by the way.
Terminator is an MC, by the way. He had peas already, but he used to ask everyone for 20p.
Did he?
By the end of the day, man had like £5.
Yes, I'm telling you.
Bro, that's so
what
smart.
I used to do.
Don't ask people for £1. Ask them for 20p, bro.
Everyone's likely to part with
And you know the
20p.
maddest thing about Shabazz, yeah? If you borrowed money from him, he would charge you 100% interest on return.
Oh, really?
Mad.
That's nuts.
Bro, I swear down. I couldn't believe it. When I heard it, it was like a rumour. Yeah. I was like, bro, you judge, like, if someone borrows £1 from you, they got to give you £2 back. He was like, yes.
Mad.
I was like, no way. He's like, yeah. I said, oh my God, you're a genius, bro. You know how he talks about, like, you know, you see videos of him now, he's talking about, like, you got to own a house and that.
Yeah.
He's been like that from when we was,
early, hustler.
When we was 11, 12 years old, bro. When you said that just now, I was like, yeah, you was asking me for £1, bro. Ask everyone for 20p. That is how you get mad peas.
That's what it's about. It was that, and obviously what everyone else used to do, which was just wrapping up. I shouldn't even be talking about this. Sorry, I was gonna say. Oh, no.
Just waxing. Oh, you can use waxing for that as well.
No.
Waxing works for that.
Go and say it, man.
No, just like Sainsbury's before school, just wrap Galaxy bars.
Our school got banned from Sainsbury's.
My brethren used to, because there used to be a shop called One Stop here, and we used to have this thing. My brethren Carty used to always say, yeah, we're going to one stop and bop. So
One stop and bop
used to mean like we're going to the shop to teeth.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And then I used to sell it for mad peas. That was when Galaxy Cookie Crumble just came out. Oh my Lord.
Galaxy's not the bomb thing.
I ain't had a Galaxy in
Our school got banned from Sainsbury's because people kept stealing the
I ain't had a Galaxy
chickens.
since Brandy had sitting on top of the wall.
Bruv, people in our school used to steal whole chickens
from
Sainsbury's.
From the hot deli thing or frozen
Yeah,
chicken?
the one that's cooked.
Oh, yeah, standard. Yeah.
They used to take whole chickens.
No, it's like an open thing. You can just...
Remember they used to have them salad boxes that you fill up and you weigh them yourself and put the sticker on?
Yeah.
Okay. People in school used to just fill them up with anything.
We got banned.
I ain't had one of them.
They'd weigh something that didn't weigh a lot, so it'd print out like 3p or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Then they fill up the box with anything.
Put a piece of
then
paper
put the
on
sticker on it, and then you just scan the box and leave. So we got banned. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want anyone influenced by this.
No,
but Galaxy's a dead chocolate.
Yeah, dead.
Galaxy's the deadest chocolate.
What? Whoa.
It's very dead.
Does anyone even still eat that?
Yeah,
Is it still about?
Yes. Tell him.
Not about. Galaxy's still on road.
Bro, Galaxy's the best chocolate. How dare you?
I ain't had a Galaxy since
Galaxy is so dead. When you search it, it comes up with the phone. It's not. Do you know how long
I was gonna come up with a universe or something like that?
But anyway,
it's dead.
Yeah. Anyway, aside from the dead chocolate and that, boom, man started.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep going. So anyway,
we're gonna come back on this Galaxy conversation. There's no way.
You don't need to. It's over. The chocolate's dead.
So anyway,
the chocolate's dead. We've moved on.
There's no dead chocolate ever.
There's no dead chocolate.
There are some dead chocolate.
There's a reason that Calum hasn't got. There's a reason that Calum hasn't got.
We're going into a complete.
Yeah. Come.
There's a reason that Calum doesn't have a mic because he says things like there's no dead chocolate.
I know that's not.
Obviously, you never had a Galaxy before.
Yeah.
But anyway, started recording some tunes.
Yeah.
Thing or whatever.
Vibes in, doing all this and that. And then we started. Everyone around the end started but because we weren't from London, it made us like no one wanted to know us because we're from that's them brothers from Essex, Barking and Dagenham and Shadow Heath, Marskale, all them. Yeah, no one wants to hear them, man. And so we were just banging up, bro. We used to go up London and try and sell all the little mixtapes and all that thing, but it's it was just a bit mad. But everyone knew who we were, and we were the coldest. Me, Kizzle, Mirab, all them, man. But it just got to a point where it's nothing was really happening. And you know what's actually mad interesting? Obviously, you being here as well. Frisco, I remember. Frisco came down to Mars Gate, which is bare weird, because no one even knows of these little Essex areas and that. And he was he did this little thing in our community center where he came out every Wednesday to try and help us and boost us and that. So that kind of gave us...
Man of the people.
Big up Frisco.
Big up Frisco, man. Come
people.
on. Cold, man. He definitely doesn't remember me now. I was like a little rat with cane rolls, so if he sees me, he wouldn't know.
He wouldn't know, no.
Yeah, but he definitely did that, and I was sick. But then... what happened was, I just got into recruitment. I said, you know what, this music thing ain't happening, fam. I got no family here, no dad. If I just keep trying to just wing my way through life, and all the man them were obviously shot.
Dead end road.
Yeah, all the man them were shot, and I had to choose either go down that route where at that same time one of my brethrens died, or I go the route of doing the sales and recruitment thing. And I thought, you know what, bruv, when you're raised, I could hear my mum's voice, a Caribbean voice. If you do this, you're holding it a couple licks. So I just left all of that, and then I literally just started doing sales recruitment, got into that, started making good peas, got my place, and I thought, this is it. This is it. Music's over now. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna do this thing, just try and save, rent a place, and just live my life. every single day I had someone come up to me saying, General fam, where's the music fam? Yeah. It's like, bruv, I ain't done music since like 4 or 5 years ago. Why are you talking to me about music? Like, bruv, I'm just here, just living my next day. Jen, where's the music? It got to a point where it's like everyone was just like, fam, like you need to be doing this.
How did that make you feel though? Like, because obviously I know recently, I hope you don't mind speaking about elements of it in that, yeah. But you know, you talked about like going through like some severe depression and stuff like that, yeah. How, when you was working and doing the recruitment stuff and that, but everyone's telling you, like what's going on with the music and whatnot, like how was you feeling at that point? Did you feel like like I should be back on this music thing, or did you think, you know what, nah, I don't even want to do this music thing, or was you working and not doing music making you feel like you was not achieving or not doing? Do you get what I'm saying?
I deliberately used to tell myself you're not doing music, fam, because I used to be in the shower freestyling. I used to stop myself, be like, stop this. I used to come out, start writing bars. I used to delete it because I knew that if I started again, then I was gonna, you know, get back to music. And for me, I always thought like, because I've never seen the side of music that you can make money and stuff. My understanding of music was just dropping bars and that's it. People know you and that's it. I've never made money from it, so I didn't know you could make money from music. So I thought, you're not doing this. Stop it. You've worked hard. You got out of this whole gang thing. Go and do your recruitment thing. That's it. Don't you even dare go back to this music thing. But in the back of my mind, I always knew I was gonna get back on music one way or another. Yeah. But I tried to push it so far back in the back of my mind because I thought there's no money in this, and just stay on this.
Yeah.
So that's basically it. Until it got to a point where I was in recruitment. And I realized, like, you know, 2-3 years went by, and I was just like, bro, I'm not happy, fam. Like, I am not. I tried to put on this thing, like, man's making peas in the city, London, going flipping Babel and all them. There was them places like Revs,
and shit.
Revs, yeah. Come on,
Revs and that. I DJ Revs.
Come on, guys. Come on.
America Square and Lidenall Street.
Big up Lidenall Street. I used to work around there, Reed, next to the Gherkin.
Okay, sick.
I don't know what ends you lot are talking about.
Yeah, go on.
So I turned into one of them. I turned into one of them city man quick. Yeah. Bro, I'm not from the ends, cuz I am about this. Yeah. So I was doing this.
You said you wasn't happy.
Yeah, I just wasn't happy, fam. I just realized that I'm not sitting in an office person. Like, it was just making me bare stressed and this and that. And then, see, my dad was in jail, and then like just bare things started happening. Like my aunt back home died of cancer, and then one of my boys died in my arms, which is another mad story, which I'll just quickly tell you about. Chadwell Heath, they're all on mopeds. I was like, you man, you need to stop doing this thing, fam. Like, you man are just bare doing wheelies and that. Like, you man need to relax, like, come off this thing. As soon as I left the high road, go down to Chadwell Heath, Wellborn Lane, soon I go down, I heard a bang. I was like, oh, God's sake. Turned around, bruv. Turned around, go up there, and I see my man on the floor. And I was just like, Tommy, fam. Like, wow. And that was it, and he was gone. And then that happened.
Immediate?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was it. And then that happened, my aunt died. My dad's in jail. I got no family here, this and that. My brain started doing this thing. Overdrive. It's like you've never addressed any of this. You lied to yourself and said, you're fine. You're a city boy now. You're working. You're making peas. You're going out every Friday. You're pretending everything's cool. You're not blessed, fam. I broke. I literally just broke. I couldn't go into work. My manager was like, what's wrong with you? I was like, bro, I don't know. I literally can't get up. I don't know what's wrong with me. He let me a few days on and off, wherever. It just got worse and worse and worse. So to get to a point where I just couldn't get out of my bed.
What did it feel like?
Just explaining like clinical depression to someone is almost impossible, fam. I feel like unless you have that, because I remember like when I was in college, because when I left school, I did music for 2 years in college. And I remember someone telling me, "Oh, I've got depression." I used to be like, "What are you talking about, man? Like, you be fine, smile." Not thinking it's like a feeling.
Yeah.
Now that I've been through this for the last few years, and that's the reason why I tweet about it all the time. I've been replying to 30 DMs in a row of kids talking to me saying, "Oh, I've got depression." I will dedicate my time to these people because I've realized that people think it's a feeling. Bruv, it's not a feeling. Like, do you really think I'll be in my room starving, fantasizing about suicide, not talking to my brethren, not doing the things that I love because of a feeling? Like,
I think that's like from like experiencing people, a person that I know going through stuff or whatever, and having conversations with that person. I've come to understand as well that when people make it seem like it's just a feeling, it almost makes things worse.
100, bruv.
Because
made me vexed.
It's like you're indirectly telling them that you could just wake up and just smile and everything would be better.
That's when like I stopped talking to all of my brethrens, because it got to a point where they were like, they didn't get it. They were just like, oh, Jen, you're fine, Van. Like, come on, this and that. And it made me more vexed, because I was like, you man don't understand. Like I'm not doing this for bants. Like I literally, like, I can't. As soon as my eyes like opens, it was literally just like, how you gonna do this? How you gonna that? How you gonna pay your rent? Oh, you just lost your job because of your depression. How you gonna pay rent next month?
So you lost your job.
Yeah. So sorry, I skipped that bit. Yeah, I lost my job because my manager, to be fair, he was a G, because he knows about depression. So anyone else would have been like, oh, what, a few days off? Now you're gone. He let me stay for a few months. I did a bit working from home. Working from home made it 10 times worse, because it means that I just got up and I was just in a room.
Yeah, it kind of does it. If like, was that the door? Oh, okay. Does it give you that thing of, okay, I'm still in this space. So like, like you're doing a bit of work, but it's easy for you to just get up and say, fuck this.
Basically. Not only that is when obviously I then did, like, I went to a private counselor, because that's when, before the money dried up, when I lost my job, and that guy is an absolute legend, big up man like Rob from Dagenham. And he basically he made me aware of a lot of things. I didn't know anything about depression and stuff, and he said that one of my biggest problems has been isolation. And I said to him, no, I'm fine with isolation. Like, I'm an only child. Like, I've done this my whole life. I'm cool. And he was like, exactly. And then he was telling me, oh, tell me about your childhood. And I was like, I can't really remember. Like, I can tell you like 1 or 2 bits. And he was like, no, you can. Then he's a hypnotherapist as well, so he'd put you into a bit of a state, and then he'd tell you, okay, now tell me about this. I started seeing things that I never remembered in my entire life, because I realized subconsciously I was pushing them away. So it'd be just me in my room in St. Lucia. My mum's working like 3-4 jobs. My dad's not about, just playing on the mat with my toys and that, whatever this and that. I'm an only child. That's it. So I pushed that so far, in the loneliness and isolation so far. I thought that I was cool with isolation, but that's really what messed me up. So when I then started working from home, that made it 10 times worse, because all them feelings came back of, you're on your own. Does that make sense? So that made it 10 times worse. I used to get up and just be like, I can't do this, fam. Like, I can't, like, physically cannot just literally take 2 steps, sit at the desk, which I've set up, open my laptop and just do a bit of work. I couldn't. Literally couldn't. Food, everyone knows how much I eat. I eat so much. I literally was like, going to Tesco and Sainsbury's I can't leave my house. I can't do it.
It's a big thing, yeah.
Yeah, go like, shower. Yeah, shower. Oh, that's like getting in, brush my, like, everything was literally just so dark and so negative. And this went on for literally like a whole year of like, none of my, I just used to lie to my brethren. Jen, come out, this and that. Oh no, I'm not even about, yeah. Jen, football this week, yeah. Even the things I love doing, no, I'm not about, my G. We're gonna come see you. Oh, I'm not at home, like, yeah. I just used to because I thought no one can see me in this state. I've got too much pride. I was embarrassed. There was just a lot, bruv. There's a lot of stuff going on, and this happened for another year or 2, and bruv, it just got worse and worse and worse and worse.
So are you conscious of what you're doing? Are you conscious of your depression?
Now, 100%.
No, at the time when you.
Oh no.
When you don't. So what is your brain telling you is happening? Is your brain telling you anything's happening?
So you're talking about when I was like that?
Yeah. So when you're thinking, I don't want to get in the shower, I can't get up. Like, what is your mind? What are you understanding that to be? Does that make sense? Because if you're not thinking I'm depressed, what are you thinking? Because that's obviously behavior that is new to you, because there were times when I don't know how many months prior you would have been able to do all that stuff.
6 in the morning.
So what is your body, your brain understanding that to be?
That's what I'm saying. I genuinely didn't know,
okay.
which is why I said to my boss, I said to him, I don't know what's going on, but I can't get up and I can't leave.
It's just how I feel.
It's literally just like how you feel. It's like all these subconscious things, all the serotonin, all these chemicals in your brain that we don't know nothing about, but until there's a tap in it or a switch, you realize, okay, like happiness comes from this chemical. Okay, so excitement comes from this part of your brain, blah, blah, blah. When that happens, it's like, it's not a familiar thing to me. So it's like, I don't know what's happening. I'm a happy guy, fam. I'm literally, you see me jumping around, doing all my things. So what's going on? Like, I wasn't aware of what it was until my boss said, you've got depression. I think he said his brother or whatever had it, this and that. And I was like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, no. Like, I'm good. Like, trust me, I'm fine. But I just don't know what's going on. So going to answer your question, yeah, I didn't know what it was at all.
And is it one of those things that, they say when someone diagnoses you with something, you almost feel it more? They say with cancer patients, when you're told you have cancer, that's when your body starts to react to the things that maybe you were ignoring before. When someone diagnosed you with that, did it make it worse, or did you feel like, okay, cool, and now this is something that I can come out of?
I don't know if the diagnosing made it worse, or I don't know if it's because losing my job and everything going south made it worse. Okay. Because if he didn't say that, oh, you got depression, and he's just like, bro, I don't know what's wrong with you, this and that, I still believe, I just would not been able to come, whatever, still would have lost my job. All of this stuff would have happened, and I wouldn't know I had depression. It's not until I went to the doctors and I had to do like their what's it called, all them form things, and it's like, oh, how much do you feel, whatever this, like that, like on a scale of 1 to 5, mine was just a straight write-off. It was how much do you fantasize about suicide? And it was like literally every single day. How much do you? It was like literally just left.
So
where did you do that? Where did you do that? What form was that?
That just when you just go to basically just a GP. Like,
so they ask you to, with knowledge, fill out these questions. It isn't like as.
What do you mean?
So they're asking you questions that you have to honestly answer. Answer to.
Yeah. There's self-referral, which you can do, or you can just go to your GP and just say, if you just say to them like you feel like you have depression, anxiety, whatever it is, they just give you like a form, whatever. It's for them to assess how bad you are, so they can then refer you to.
It's just interesting because I feel like in a place where you are so controlled by this thing, to give you the option to tell me how you're feeling. Even though it actually sounds quite patronizing, you can't tell me how you feel. From a scientific point of view, I always assume that science would override the...
It probably would to a point, though.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
I would assume that if I'm telling you how I feel and now you have to confirm it. If your confirmation is me retelling you how I feel...
I get that, but
there's a discrepancy there. Do you know what I mean?
I get that, but
how
else would they?
No, it's 100%. What you're saying.
Don't they use that as like some type of gauge for something?
Yeah. It's like a gauge. Yeah, they're not saying like.
Okay, you've answered this question.
Yeah. Like I said, it's more like an assessment. That's like, okay, well, like how does this person really feel, sort of thing.
And then how do they help you from that stage?
And then from there, they just like self-refer you. And oh my days, I've been So going back a bit, what happened before I went to the GP? Because I'm a very stubborn person. Like I haven't been to the doctors, dentist, this, that, all of them places since.
Can I just say, I don't know whether that is a race thing or a gender thing or whatnot. Yeah,
but I do feel, it might be cultural.
Sorry, what?
A cultural thing. We don't love going to the doctor.
No, definitely not.
Thing.
We go to the doctors at the very last minute.
I always
even then, like remember. Even just like the famous one of Bob Marley, he didn't want to go nowhere. He wasn't trying to go nowhere. Cut off what? I'm not doing none of that. This is
You know what? I think it's I was having this conversation with someone the other day actually. Yeah, no, it was with Rosie, my girl. She was saying about you need to go dentist, and like I said, I haven't been. Rosie. Yeah, big up Rose. I haven't. She was like, you need to go dentist, but no, my eyes. I was like, I'm starting to get like really like bad, whether this and that. And then she was like, you got diabetes on both sides of your family. You need to get like, apparently that's one of the first things that happen. Your eyesight goes mad. So I am shitting myself now. Still, man ain't getting no eye thing.
The dentist. Do you know why? Is the one for
me. And the dentist and all that. I just can't. I think it's like a man's thing.
I didn't go to the dentist until I was 28.
That's what 29.
I mean. Really?
First time I went to the dentist, I was 28 or 29.
Wait, what do you mean? Obviously, your parents took you as a kid.
The first time I remember. The first time I remember, my mum and dad might have taken me, but I was too young because I do not ever remember going to a dentist ever. The first time I walked into a dentist, and I must be telling the truth because when I went there, he didn't have any records with me.
Oh, mad!
The first time I went to the dentist, I want to say I was 28 or 29.
That's gonna be me.
I was always going twice a year.
That's gonna be me. I'm gonna wait till like in my 30s.
Shout out to Renata. By the way, shout out to Renata at Snow Whitening. Yeah, dental hygienist. By the way,
Renata, what can they come to
the dentist one is mad though because
but anyway, shout out
to be fair, and eyesight because it
man.
wears.
Yeah, no, definitely. The thing is, like going back to
it's about catching it early.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a cultural thing or if it's just a man pride thing. I just can't, like I said, I could be dying.
Toxic masculinity.
That is an element of it. That's an element of it. I can accept that.
Speaking of that, bruv, you see when you did that toxic masculinity
Femininity.
thing, yeah? No, sorry, toxic femininity thing, yeah? It's because you just said it,
He had to really correct you there. It's femininity.
Yeah. I started screaming out in my room every day for no reason.
What? He's getting toxic
still-
femininity shirts made.
No,
you're lying.
I still get tweets and that.
Are you getting t-shirts made?
All of the time.
Bruv,
Nah,
I would
I'm
wear
not
that
gonna do
t-shirt.
I will
with pride.
rock
because
that.
I don't want anyone to think. Because I know at that point, some people felt like I was like anti-women. And
I don't care.
No,
I'm
yeah,
wearing
yeah.
a toxic femininity
It's just the
t-shirt.
way you were saying it. I was crying,
I was just
fam.
like, do you know what? All I was doing was holding up a mirror
Yeah.
of
that's it.
how some people like to overuse and
Just
do
get me
People
the
don't like
t-shirt.
that.
certain, like,
bruv.
yeah, they don't like
People
that.
don't
So-
like
Just
that.
get me the
But
t-shirt.
But yeah, anyway, I might actually do that.
Thank
still.
you.
Yeah. Go on anyway.
Yeah, where were we?
So
you're talking about,
you were saying
Oh, the depression
So
of that,
you
yeah.
went back. So you
Yeah, I
was
went
going
back.
a bit.
Sorry, yeah, because when I was still working and I picked up on it, that's when I still had a bit of peace. And then my manager said to me, "Listen, fam, I ain't letting you come back," because he actually does genuinely care about me. Because it was a small company, it's not like a big like corporate recruitment thing. And he was like, "I'm not letting you back in this office unless you go and do something about it." Yeah. And then she was like, "Oh, my dad used to see this guy," and then he made him come out on the complete other side. And I thought, once again, the stubbornness, like I ain't going to speak to no one. Like you know what it's like, blah blah blah. Finally, once again, a few months go by. Depression gets worse. I was like, fine, I'll do it. So it's like,
Where was you? Sorry to keep before you go. At what point would you say you was at your lowest? The lowest.
my lowest
Yeah.
earlier this year.
And what did that feel like?
That's the first times in my life I've attempted suicide.
Okay.
So all the 2-3 years before, it was like feel the darkness, the negativity, the don't want to do nothing, not talking to anyone, blah blah blah. This is when it got to the suicide thing. That's when I realized, yo, this is not me. Like that is wild beyond anything I could. Because I remember when I did my thing before, it was like, oh, do you ever have thoughts of suicide? And at the time, my thing was no. So for it this year, it was a straight every single day. So that's when I started, and I don't mind talking about this. The reason why I'm so open about it now is because I realize what God is doing with me. Because ever since I opened up on Twitter and Instagram about that, I literally 50 DMs a day of just kids going to me, "I'm so happy you've said this. I struggle with this. I can't talk to my parents or friends. What can I do?" I dedicate 2 hours of my time every night to just reply to these people, because I realized that when I was moaning, and I still have it obviously, about depression, and I was saying, God, like, why have you done this to me? Why couldn't you just chop off my arm or my leg or something? I'd rather have a physical problem than a mental. Like, I can't live with this. Like, come on, man. God, hook me up, fam. Like, come on. I realized what he's done now.
I like that one.
Yeah, he wanted me to go through this because it's not about me. He was doing this so I could help other people. So when it got to the suicide thing, that's when I started self-harming for the first time in my life. Started slashing my wrist and that. And I cut to a point where it was deep, and it hit an artery, and then blood just went tsk, like that, yeah. And I panicked, and I was like, "Yeah, Jen, all right, yeah, you went to kill yourself, all right, you're panicking now." I called the police, and I was like, "Yo, I just done something really, really stupid. Like, I probably started apologizing, saying, listen, I know you got like real problems to deal with, and people are getting like robbed and murdered and all this and that, yeah. But something just happened, blah blah." They came around, they like patched me up, whatever. The policeman actually drove me to the hospital, which was sick. They patched me up, and from there, they referred me to like a little counselling thing within the NHS. So I did that. After that, I don't want to go into detail about the other stuff, but it was like worse suicide things I tried to do. And then that's when I was like, no, this can't run.
So then, how, like, because you started to talk about the situation with your girlfriend, dad, and then
the private counselling,
and stuff like that. So like talk to me a little bit about that. Like, at what stage did you say, all right, cool, I need to, like, being the stubborn person that you are, yeah? Like, at what point was you like, okay, cool, I need to actually seek some different type of help?
That was, once again, hands down, just all because of Rosie. I wouldn't have done it myself. I know what I'm like. I would have just stayed there and just lied to myself for the next few years, and maybe I probably would have even killed myself by that point. Rosie was the one who literally was like, just literally, as much as I would say no, she would just keep going on and on. She was so patient with me, and I realized in that depressive state, so she knew how to handle me. She knew what to say, what not to say, when to push, when not to push. So she murked it, and it got to a point where, you know, she literally just like, listen, I will take you there. Like, I will actually take you there. Just try it. If you don't like it, cool, don't do it, whatever this and that. And I was like, oh, fine. Went there, best thing I've ever done. Hands down, best thing.
This is counselling.
Private counselling, yeah. So it was like £40, which first it was like every week, then it was every 2 weeks and every month. Then I started getting back slowly back up there. But like an idiot, and what most people I want to take from this is, when you start feeling better, don't then just think. Don't think, yeah, you know what, I'm blessed now, yeah. Because that's what I did, like a mug. I stopped and I was like, yeah, I'm blessed now. Straight back down. And then at that point now, obviously, lost my job and I can't afford Rob anymore. £40, fam. You're mad. You know how much food shopping that is?
Is it like, see, like
£40 for an hour?
It's like, I think it's like about 2-3 hours. No, yeah, he always says like 2 hours, but sometimes we stay there for like 3 hours.
Is it group session this? Or
No, just privately, yeah. Just go to his yard, and he's like a hypnotherapist as well. So he just talks to you first. And he makes you ask yourself questions that you never thought you'd ask. Like my childhood thing, I never even thought about that. And isolation, I didn't know that was my biggest problem. My whole life, I didn't know that. Then he started talking about work, and he made me realize I didn't like my job. Then he started talking about music, and he realized all you've been doing since you've been here is talking about music. Like, that's your passion. And I was like, yeah, I know, but there's no money in it. I can't make money from this. Like, blah blah blah. And then he was the one who made me sort of just go into this thing.
See, with the counselling thing, is like, how much of it is about connecting with them?
All of it.
Does that make sense? Because like,
I hear you.
Did you in that process, did you meet anyone and not connect with them?
Nah, that's the first person I saw, and I stuck with him. Because
that's very rare though.
Because
did they tell you that? Does anyone told you that? Well, I see a therapist for. I see a therapist for. What would you call it? I just see a therapist.
Really.
Yeah. I think everyone should do that.
Yeah.
Even if you have depression, anxiety, and bipolar, or if you have nothing, do it.
Yeah.
It's just good to just have someone just to reveal your inner emotions, and because there's some of these conversations you won't have with your brethren. As close as you are to them, you won't do it because you do feel a bit of vulnerability in that. Whereas if you're in a room with a stranger, which is weird, I feel more comfortable.
I tell this to people all the time. They don't believe.
Yeah, I feel more comfortable telling him than my boys that's gonna look at me and be like, "Jen's moving a bit mad," you know, like, you know them ones.
Yeah,
because is it unbiased? It's an unbiased reaction to what you're saying. So if I talk to you about something, you're gonna tell me, your response is who you are, how you've been raised, what you care about, what you love, what you hate. Your response is a Chucky response. A therapist's response is an unbiased response of just this is me replying to what you said. So it doesn't come with judgment. It's just and it's an intelligent response as well, which I think a lot of people lack. And they don't realise is that sometimes you'll be talking to someone, and not in a bad way, a lot of people are stupid. So their response is actually stupid.
Exactly, it's true.
It doesn't make sense.
That's very, very true.
That's true.
That's
and a therapist is talking to you from a place of...
Especially like people's friends. Because it's not saying like... Because it's like sometimes your friends are just going to just give you some stupid advice.
Yeah, of course.
Based on some of the things that they just think that you want to hear anyway.
Exactly,
if anything. But I don't see a therapist, but I want to. Like, I'd love to do
100
that. And like, I've been thinking about that for like a little while now. But I also thought, just through having conversations with loads of other people, that maybe that is a thing that everyone should do.
Everyone should do it.
Like, maybe it's dependent on the stage of life that you're at, or whatever it is, maybe at age or whatever it may be. But because I think that maybe if I went out to do it when I was a lot younger, I don't know if I would have embraced it the same because of just how my life was at that time. I felt like I was just having the sickest time. Anyway, but when I became a little bit more thoughtful to things, not even just thoughtful as in like how emotionally aware I am or whatever, but just even things like physical stuff, like what I was saying to Swiss the other day, how when I'm skating, I think way more about dropping and busting my neck now than I did when I was young. I used to go and just like, I used to literally skate and hold onto buses.
Yeah, like it was a joke.
Do all of that. We used to skate down Studland. There's a road in Hanwell called Studland. Yeah, the road is mad steep, bro. Every time I go down this, I don't go down there often anymore. But when I go down there, I think,
how on earth was I skating down this road?
Like, how was we skating down?
It happens.
If I show you my knees right now, it's a madness. In St. Lucia, there was this hill, fam, I had this little BMX bike. Of course it didn't have brakes, fam, because it's St. Lucia. I used to go down this hill every day. Rocks, stones, madness, bust up my knees, come home bleeding to my mum every single day. Fam, now I'm not doing nothing.
that.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I went for a park the other day. I was on every ride I got on. I thought, if
Yeah,
this ride
yeah,
breaks,
yeah. Oh my god! Even when I get on a plane these days, I'm
on
like,
the plane,
yo.
same. Everything. I think, oh my god, if this breaks now, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna
You know
die.
what it
And
is?
It
It's
happens.
because we're so aware now.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
news, social media, this and that. This plane crashed. That thing that happened. That car crash. That happened. The world is so scary now because of how much information we know. It's like if I get on
realise
this
that
plane,
anything is genuinely possible.
it is raw. Cause if
Yeah.
I get on this full park thing. You saw what happened to that girl's legs. Like, it's mad.
it's
If I
mad.
go,
Yeah, it is
if
mad.
I get on this, like, literally, that's like me now. Like I said, like, me and my boy was still, because my boy, big up Ro, he's from Guyana. And me and him was busting jokes, because he was born in Guyana as well. He used to be like, oh, Jen, you remember when he used to go to, like, the lake thing, like, by the lake thing and just, like, catch little fish with your branch and your little thing. I used to be like, yeah. And then we're talking about, bruv, when I went St. Lucia last year, I'm going near no lake or river, fam, in case I catch some madness. Are you sick?
No, it is true.
Bruv, we're too aware of
I
stuff.
think that I think the therapy thing for me, I think a lot of people feel like it should come with old age, but it's not old age. I think you will naturally get to that place in your life where me and my friends were talking about it the other day, where you realize that the problems that you have today are your problems for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
When you're a kid, naturally, when you're 15, 16 and you fall in love or you cut your leg or whatever, these are all things that you know you're going to grow out of them. The scar's going to go away. You're still growing. You're still changing. But there's a bit, and it's not an age. I think it's an actual mental state. And for some people, especially if you're suffering things like depression, it will come sooner. But you will get to a space where it's very important for you to talk about exactly how you feel.
And that's what I meant. I didn't even mean age. I actually just meant stage.
Yeah, you get to a stage. Yeah. And I know a lot of people, because you don't think, I'm not going to a therapist if there's nothing wrong with me. Why would you do that? Everyone's like, why? I feel fine. I feel whatever it is. And fair enough, if you don't want to rock the boat, you don't want to delve that deep into your child and stuff, and you think I'm actually cool, then, I'm not going to argue with that. But I genuinely feel like everybody should go to therapy.
100%.
Because there will always be things that you don't tell someone
That's
when
true.
you're talking.
That's what I mean.
Depending on who you're speaking to, there's a bit of the story I'm not going to tell you. With everything, when you're talking about a guy that you were seeing, you're talking to your friends, there's a friend that's a girl that you won't say something to, that you tell to another girl, to your brethren, to your brother, to whatever. And that's with your whole life. There will be things that you don't tell people. But when you're in a therapy session, it is just the feeling of being able to speak freely with every thought that
makes
enters
you
into your
feel
brain.
so free.
That feeling alone is insane, because it doesn't happen anywhere else. You only talk to yourself like that in your brain.
Yeah, I hear that.
Honestly,
Sometimes you're hearing those
it's
words
so
out loud
important.
for the first time.
Yeah.
Your whole life.
You know what? That's so important what you just said. My therapy session was exactly that.
Yeah.
I out loud said all my problems about my dad being in jail, my mum not being here, my this and that. Because here's how the conversation usually goes when I'm with my brethren or meeting someone, this and that. Oh, like, where's your dad? Oh, yeah, no, he's not around. Like, yeah, this and that. Oh, where's your mum? Oh, no, my whole family, St. Lucian is. Oh, where do you live? Oh, yeah, I live on my own, like, wherever this and that. I would avoid all of that. When you're in a therapy session, how does that make you feel? I was angry at my dad for X, Y, Z. This happened, this is now, blah, 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 this and that, all that sort of stuff. And I felt so really. It sounds
because
minor.
you've never said them before.
Because I've never said it out
Out loud,
Yeah.
You've never heard the words outside of your
Yeah.
head before. And I think a lot of people don't realise how powerful it is to hear. I always say to people, if I don't like someone, when I say it out loud, I physically cannot be in the same room with them again. If I say out loud, I don't like Chucky, bruv. The other day he did this thing. When I see you, you will notice that my body language, everything about me is different. I wouldn't be able to be around you because I've said it outside of my own
Outside
like,
of your
mind.
outside of your mind.
It's very powerful.
Yeah.
It's extremely important.
Mad. So so then anyway, you met the guy and he helped.
Yeah,
He
and
helped
he helped,
massively and
and then
stuff
I
like that.
started feeling better, and then I stopped doing it. Then
How
obviously,
often do you try to see a therapist now?
now it's like every. But the thing is, I was on that because I haven't been working for pretty much half of this year, so the money is ridiculously tight. So I wasn't able to see Rob anymore. So what I did was the NHS thing, and now I don't even want to get started on that conversation because NHS is just the worst of the worst when it comes to mental health because
I know.
they still don't even believe it's a real thing. What? Mental health? Swear down. What? Depression?
That's nuts.
Anxiety? What?
But yeah, they have St.
Bipolar
Anne's
schizo-
Hospital.
what?
How weird is that? They've got a hospital for mental health and they don't put any money into it. But
It's mad.
It's not their fault.
But yeah, anyway, I was gonna say it's not real.
Government cuts. innit?
Exactly.
There's
Yeah,
cuts
exactly.
on so much different things.
So I was on a
that's
wait-
so unfortunate, man.
Yeah.
When you think about some of the just the necessities in life when you're dealing with you know, like, when you're dealing with people, to take away that money,
It's mad.
it's mad.
You said it's unfortunate. It's more than unfortunate. It's not right.
It's
Yeah,
just
exactly,
it's
yeah,
not
you're
right. Yeah. So because I couldn't afford Rob anymore, I got on the NHS waiting list thing, and that took months.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, by that time, man could have
Anything
just,
coulda happened.
I could have just killed myself. Because
Yeah.
I remember they were like, "Oh, how suicidal are you?" I was like, "Very much." Like literally every day sort of thing. Like wagwan. And they were just, "Alright, cool. Yeah, we'll email you and this and that." And then the letter
Like
came through, and it was
emails,
like
I'm
3
not checking
months.
my emails, bro.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
thinking, I'm not
exactly.
even
You lot
checking
better
my-
come to my house and
yeah,
get me out of here.
yeah. I was
That
like,
is
rotted.
crazy.
Yeah, and they were like, yeah, we'll see you in 3 months. I was like, 3 months? What? Like, bruv, it's mad. So, yeah, it's like
It's
every...
so crazy, innit? When
yeah.
you're like so low like that, and then you're telling me, or
telling
just
you.
not even like you're not at that stage, but you're still low, and you're telling me that I can't see anyone for 3 months.
Yeah, what they would say is, oh, yeah, if you're about to do something, call the Samaritans. Or this
Oh,
and that.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah,
was
cool.
like, I ain't, like, no disrespect, and big up the Samaritans and all what they do, but that's not what I'm going to be doing in that time. Like, and the reason why the suicide rate is so high now is because of the number of people with depression, anxiety, bipolar, schizophrenia, all these sort of like mental conditions that doesn't get dealt with. It's like, oh, let's let the numbers rise to another, I don't know, 20, 30, 50%.
Before we do anything.
Then we'll, try and do something. So now it's just gone through the roof. And like, you can't tell people like, you know, call the Samaritans and that, which is, once again, I say big up, but like, in that state when someone is feeling that low and they feel like they are better off dead because they're alone, they're isolated, they don't have any money, they don't know if they're going to get kicked out of their house, they're going to be homeless and that, the quickest option for them is just to take their life. They're not thinking in that time like, oh, maybe think, especially if you're depressed, because your mind state when you're depressed is, a normal person can think like, I shouldn't say normal, sorry, you know what I mean? Like they have that logical thing of, like things will get better. When you're depressed, there is no light.
Rationalization.
It's darkness and there is literally no light. So you can't
But
say
I
to that
guess that's
person,
why,
cool.
yeah.
and
But
thing.
I guess that's why their work is so important.
Yeah.
Exactly, absolutely.
Because they're 24 hours. It's like crisis as well.
Yeah,
innit?
yeah.
It's like you can call crisis at any time and
Yeah.
they'll speak to you on the phone for as long as possible. I think maybe what is difficult sometimes about that is you are reaching out for help. Yeah, and you might be going to friends or you might be going to like NHS or privately or whatever it may be. But then in a moment of need, from conversations that I've had, it feels like
There's
you
no
don't even
action.
want to ring that organization
Yeah.
because it feels like, I don't know, it's another thing that makes they feel like there's something wrong with you.
Yeah,
if you know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like it's weird to explain because I've never gone through it. But just having conversations with people, like I'm not like I just want help.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
want to
yeah.
be on the phone.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
For
that's
me-
it. That's exactly it. Yeah.
I think did I call I think I called Samaritans, and for me, it's the lack of action that I struggled with. It's the lack of like, in that moment, I'm like, I need a solution.
Yeah, now kind of.
Yeah, and right now, your conversation with me is helping, but when I put the phone down, I
Yeah.
still feel like there's no solution.
Exactly.
There's no
Yeah,
action
exactly.
to what's
That was it.
happening. But but I will say in the same breath that their work is extremely important. Like you
Yeah,
said, it goes
absolutely.
without saying. But this stems back to a whole other thing, which is a next conversation. Is another day. Yeah, I genuinely believe that there should be courses for parenting. I think it's
I agree with
insane
that.
that human beings are allowed to give birth to a person that is going to exist on the planet with other human beings, and we don't all have some kind of code or system that we live by. And I know it's then that goes into religion, and it goes into schooling, and it goes into policing and programming people into thinking a
That would
certain
be a
way.
sick conversation.
And it's mad to trust humans to do that, but I still think it's very strange that we just have this free place where, with all the battles and illnesses and negative energy you can have inside of you, you can give birth to a person and pass that all to them, and they have to live with it now. And not
That's
only do they
mad.
live with it, they travel the world and they bump into other people that they don't know, and they pass it on to those people. And it's like, how is this system a system that we feel is beneficial to humanity? Why is there nothing in place to say to everyone, hey guys, we're all going to live on the planet together. Let's all do A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Yeah.
Like, just as a basis, like, let's just make sure that we
A
all have
positive way of groupthink.
a positive way of, like, just to make interactions with other human beings better. Bruv, to me, that's mad that you can just have a baby and
That's
just
very,
say
very
anything
true.
you want to them and raise them the way you want, and they will just be on the planet.
I hear that. I swear there's like certain places you can't just have a baby like that though.
like
or you
China
can't
and
have
them places.
Yeah, you can't have more than a certain amount. But that's more a population thing than anything. Innit?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, I think a lot
Yeah,
of problems
man.
would change if there was something like that in place.
I feel like
Possibly,
we need to do that. But yeah, going back to what we said, that 100%. But I think the counselling thing, I feel like everyone, you see, the same way we go to school and we study, I don't know, math, science, whatever, there should be a counselling thing.
Definitely, I agree with
100%. Because like I've got one of my brethren's, a girl who was, obviously I'm not gonna say who, so it's fine, but she was like sexually harassed when she was younger, and she's had to live with that her whole life, and it eats her up every single day, and she hasn't been able to talk to someone about that, and she's only just started coming out telling one or two brethrens, me, and it's just a bit of a madness because I'm thinking like you've had to live
all of this time
with
that and not
when you was
anyone.
a girl, like an infant, if you was in school and you were studying maths, science, this that, counselling, then at least it would have
very true.
It would have aided with your thing because you've had to hide that for so long.
Those are there's like two necessities that I feel like they miss out on in growing up.
I know what you're gonna say.
That and then
money.
Yeah, and money.
Of course, absolutely.
Like how to
How
live.
is it they
what
don't
happens
do
when you
Why
things
is this
that
a
you're going to
conversation
face
we're
when you-
having? Why is this
it's
not being
mad.
done yet?
It's absolute. By the way, just like this is a side note. So you know we had the urban financer, yeah.
Yeah.
There's actually a guy called the urban lawyer, yeah, and
Yeah.
I want to have him on. I want to have a conversation
I
with
think we
him.
should.
So I'm just throwing this out there to you and to everyone else. What could we actually talk to him about?
Right.
I've been thinking about that.
What does he do? What you urban lawyer? As
He's
in
a lawyer.
he's a lawyer.
Criminal lawyer, I believe.
That's
I
what
think
that's what
it's-
Rosie studied.
I think
Sick.
it's just knowing your rights as a person in the country that you live in.
Yeah, I need to construct a thing together. Of
That'd be a
like,
great conversation.
Yeah, just about crime, like, and the ends and that. Because if you
But,
get a perspective from, you see how we always talk about, like gangs and stop and search controversy and all that stuff, black on black and all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. It'll probably be good because he does the criminal side of
Of
it.
course.
He sees
To
all
give
of
you
that,
the actual real
like what's
numbers.
going on in the
100%.
system. And
Because
Yeah,
they,
he'll have
they
the- he'll
do
have
keep
facts.
trying to
Yeah,
make
yeah.
us feel like black kids are killing black kids
That's
every
right.
minute
Of
of
course.
every day,
Bro.
and
Yeah.
that's not true.
it's nonsense.
He'll have a
That's
lot
not-
to
I
say.
did hear a fact, but I also can't remember.
You know,
If
you
you
know
could try and
who
put it
said
up.
someone that was sick? You know D.L. Hewley, the American comedian,
Yeah.
the guy with a hat
Yeah,
and all
yeah.
that. He said on his latest stand-up, I was watching it, and he was saying about the black on black crime. He was basically saying, listen, crime and violence is all about like proximity. Like if you put like a group of people in an area, they're gonna fight and kill each other. He said white people kill white people, husbands kills wives, and this and that because that's who you're
That's
around.
where you're.
Yeah.
That's where
So
you're around.
that's not about black on black
And
crime. That's
bringing
about the
some
segregation
some
and all that.
poverty with that as well.
And
lack of
poverty,
money
yeah,
and
exactly.
stuff like that.
So that's what I mean.
You're gonna get that still.
It's not a black on black thing. It's
Yeah.
about people in an area. If you put them there, it's the same thing.
How are you now, anyway, man, bro? How are you?
Brother, I am flying.
I'm very proud of you, man.
Thank you so
Seriously,
much,
man.
my bro.
Because like we've
Thank you,
spoken of a few times, like especially over the summer and whatnot, and I know things. Do you get what I'm? And we're not like. It's not. I didn't grow up with you or anything like that. But you know, sometimes when you catch a vibe,
Straight
you know,
away,
when you just catch
straight
a vibe.
away.
Because you know, Julie, you know me, I'm a vibes man.
Yeah.
I can meet a lot of people, and we can just chat quickly,
Yeah.
but sometimes the vibes is not there, and that's life. You know what I mean? I'm not mad at that. Sometimes, you know, that's just how it goes.
I'm one of
But-
these people. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
immediately, as soon as you WhatsApp voice me, not me saying. I just knew straight away that there's that vibe thing because I like you said
Yeah.
I'm a vibes man
Of
as well.
course.
It's like there's some people I'm just like whatever.
Yeah.
I feed off people's energy and that.
Of course.
And then as soon as I literally was just like
And then
that's the guy.
you disappeared one time, and then I was like, you know what? I know it's not. Things are not easy. You know what I mean?
Oh,
But when
yeah,
you came,
yeah,
when you
yeah.
come back and you was like, boom. Then we just started chatting again. I was like, yeah, bro, trust me, bro, because you got a purpose, bro.
100%.
You got a purpose, bro. You are. I'm not even like. I think you are one of the coldest, bro. Like seriously.
Thank you, my bro.
And you do have a purpose, man. So. I hope that like you're able to now, fulfill that and just
100%. Like I just had to just put my pride to the side and actually accept that I had a problem because my biggest problem was saying I do not have a mental condition.
Yeah.
Because of the stigma, because of the black culture, because of my upbringing, because of the whole gang, the whole man-dem thing. It's like you can't show weakness. And this is what my biggest problem has always been. It's like I couldn't show weakness. So as soon as I accepted it, and I just started talking. I can literally meet a stranger right now and just be like, oh, and they'll be like, oh, let's talk about depression. I'll be like, oh, I've got depression. I talk about it with pride now, as if to say, like, I love it. I embrace it in the sense that I can like help someone with this, and nothing makes me happier than helping people. Like literally, if I'm in a position where I'm able to just make someone's day or just say something or do something, that will make me feel so much better. Yeah. So I just feel like I've accepted it now. And the other thing I forgot during this conversation as well was I was so against antidepressants, like tablets.
Oh yeah, can we just talk about that?
That's a quick little thing I wanted to add in, because I'm one of them guys. Yeah, if I got a headache, I'm not taking a paracetamol.
Same.
I've done no drugs my entire life. I don't even.
Can I just say, just on the paracetamol thing, I took paracetamol one time because I was so against it. But one time I had the worst one ever in life. Yeah. And you know what, I ain't gonna lie, I took it and boy, man was skipping, jumping, backflipping. But you know what it is, I do think a part of it was maybe to do with the fact that I've just never taken it.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's exactly what it is.
Couple hours, I was vibing. I was ready to go out and vibe.
That's exactly what it is.
You get me?
I'm exactly the same. I took it added in once.
Paracetamol as if he snorted a line.
No, it's true.
Literally, it was like an extra. I was ready.
No,
I was
it's
shuffling. You know what I mean? I was ready to go and see
it's
Hot
like witchcraft.
692 or whatever his name is, and vibe. You know what I mean?
It is that.
So I was so against that. I've always been a guy like, no drugs. I'm not taking nothing. I don't want none of that in my system. This and that. Then obviously because of the suicidal thing, so it's only in the summer, that's when I started taking antidepressants. So I went doctors and I was like, listen, I just was honest with them. I said, listen, I'm really against tablets. I really don't want to take this. So if you are going to put me on this, can you please put me on something that's not going to give me the maddest side effects? I don't want any of this. I don't want any of that. I don't want to be hooked on it. I don't want to, when you read the side effects as well,
that's the thing.
It's a leaf, like a sheet full of madness. And you know what? Me being such a guy, out of all the may cause heart disease, clogging, this and that, you know which one made me say I ain't doing
Erectile
this?
dysfunction.
Low sex drive. I was like, no.
I love that was on your brain.
No.
I love that of all the things you was like, what?
Ask Rosie.
Not that I can't have sex, that I might not want to.
Yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It just says you might not want to today.
As soon as I heard that I was
hilarious.
like, whoa. What? And I remember I rang Rosie, I was like, I'm not taking this. And she was like, oh, you're being stupid. I was like, no, I'm not taking it. So I dashed it away and I was like, I'm not taking this. That was honestly, my mom's like, that was the make or break. None of the cancer, none of the blood clots, none of the headaches, none of the dizziness.
Low sex drive.
I was like, nah. But then obviously a few weeks went round, I was still mash up. So I was like, God's sake, right. Went back. So I got on it.
Can I just say as well, anyway, well, it's really not even that much of a catch-22, because you take the tablet and you might have a low sex drive, but like in the state that you're in anyway, you're not gonna really want to match anyway.
Yeah.
You might as well take it.
That's true, you know.
I hate this guy.
That's true. You're not gonna want to. I'm not gonna lie. In that state, I was like, nothing's running. Nothing's running.
But also, the counter of that is, in that state when you are just like down and out, having good sex might be the one thing that's just going to give you a moment of like,
that's true.
Yeah, of course.
Until afterwards,
and then if you're thinking that you're going to take that off the table as well, you're thinking that this is dead.
After you finish, it's like I could imagine it being like I've wasted an element of my life doing this when I could have been repairing myself. And then you get even more depressed. Because you're like, I just spent 15, 20, however your thing set up, on that. When you could have been spending that time on doing this, but you didn't. But then even if you didn't do that, you wouldn't have done this anyway. So you wouldn't have been doing nothing. So you might as well have just taken it.
This is a personal question, but when you took them, was your sex drive low? Did you get the side
for
effect?
a couple of weeks?
Yeah.
Oh, like, it was?
I was fuming. I literally...
Maybe it was, but maybe it was psychological.
Cool. Can I ask another...
Nah, it wasn't. I literally said that to myself. I was like, nah, it's definitely just in my brain,
okay.
yeah.
But was it high before you took the tablet though? Really?
Well, as in like, was it this year or my whole life?
This year. Let's just say this year.
This year.
Before you took the tablet.
Right, someone ring Rosie and find out.
Hey, Rosie.
Ring her. That's it.
What's she saying?
If I ring Rosie, she'll just banter me all over the show. She's mad.
So what I'm saying is, when you was going through what you was going through, before you took the thing, was it high? Was your sex drive high?
What was it high? Twice a week?
It was not. It was still there.
Was still there.
It was still there.
Right, you're an animal.
Yeah, it was still. It's obviously not.
You're an animal for wanting to have sex with his girlfriend.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
do you know what I
You're
mean?
an animal.
Do you know what I mean?
yeah, but I hear what you're saying. But I just, from how I've like thought it, like, you know what I mean. You just think.
I think that's because I've always had a high sex drive anyway. So it's like, it's so high that even when it went low, it was
It's still high.
It's still high.
Still in,
You know what it
still
was?
in the game. He's still in the game.
I was still in the game.
That
So
is
yeah,
hilarious.
it was a bit low. Yeah, and I remember when I first started taking the tablets. Yeah, I realized that. Yeah, like man, like Wilson. That's what I calls him.
Oh,
like
okay. I call it Mr. Lovian, but yeah,
Mr. What?
Lovian.
I don't have a name.
What
That's
is
weird.
going on?
Wilson. Wilson.
I know who Wilson is.
Yeah.
Why are you guys naming your penises?
Lovian. That's my surname.
Bro,
Why are
Because
you naming your
granddad.
penis?
Oh, is that
So
your?
it's a
Oh yeah,
hereditary
Lovian.
thing.
You call him Mr. Lovian.
Yeah, it's a hereditary thing.
Yeah. Lovium's calm because that's actually like your surname.
Yeah.
My thing's come like Wilson has nothing to do. I don't even know.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
anyway.
I felt like I knew a lot about guys. I grew up with guys, but is it something that a lot of men do? Just
Yeah.
on the way.
Most of my friends.
Yeah,
I feel
a
weird
few.
about it.
And when you have the name for your penis, are you saying it to other people, or is it just for your own? Is it
casual
just
to
for
me.
yourself? Like, how often are you using the term?
If I'm asked, I'll tell the truth. But
Yeah.
I don't go out and just say, like, I'm just going to go home and wash myself and Mr. Lovian. I wouldn't say that.
Okay, cool.
But if you ask me,
If someone asks you,
yeah.
and are you saying it to?
If I got
I'm
to fill
gonna
out
go
a
home and
document,
watch Mr.
if I got to fill
Lovian.
out a document or something,
Yeah.
Are you?
If it
Do you?
needs-
Do you
if
use
it
the?
needs a tablet or something.
Do you use the
joking.
name?
I'm joking. That was a joke. That
Do
was
you
a
say
joke.
it to your significant
It wasn't
other?
a joke, really,
Do you
but
tell
joke.
your significant other?
Yeah, that's what Rosie
Yeah, of
says.
course.
And you ask your significant other to use this name?
No,
I didn't ask her.
I don't
like,
ask.
Rosie
You can if you want to.
If you
at
want to
your own
partake
leisure.
in this.
Do you
Yeah.
speak to them with the name when you two are in private with each other?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
So you will speak down to Mr. Lovian and
Yes.
say,
Oh, speak to him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Will you be like, yo,
Oh, yeah,
Wilson,
sometimes,
what's
yeah.
go-" okay.
Yeah, only like I don't even like the times when I speak to Mr. Lovian is only in moments when it's like, hold on a minute, like don't you dare think about letting me down right now,
Wait.
Mr. Lovian. You don't take the piss.
You know why I'm
You
dying?
better be here for me today
Because
because I can't
yours-
lose today.
Yeah, yeah. Yours sounds like some emperor of Europe. Mr. Love. Mine is just like Wilson, innit? Like Wilson. Yours is like.
That's the only time
Lovian.
that we have a conversation really.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the
yeah.
Mister that is really
No, but
taking it.
Lothian sounds like some like proper like royalty
Regal,
thing, like some. Yeah, I can
yeah.
see him wearing like. I'm not seeing what your thing looks like,
Wow,
but like
that's
some
mad.
gold.
Just said
some gold-
I can see him
some
wearing.
gold-plated Wilson.
But anyway, yeah. So to the tablet though.
I don't know how we got here.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
you said this is what I'm still
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to get to.
So-
So are you for or against antidepressants?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm for it now
Okay.
because I'm not gonna lie. As soon as I started taking them, in 2-3 weeks time, where I wasn't even doing counseling at the time, just the tablets, I was able to wake up in the morning, and my brain wasn't saying to me, "Ah." It's literally I'll wake up, and there's nothing,
Okay.
like just on a thing, and I was like, oh, come on, sorry, my phone keeps going on. And I was literally like, yeah, obviously this is blessed because I'm not gonna lie, I thought to myself, this is not gonna work, I'm gonna waste my time and probably I'm gonna get some mad side effect like cancer or something like that. I was so against it and I thought I can't be doing this, but when I started taking it, I'm not gonna lie, the one I take, if anyone's asking, is if anyone's looking to get into, is citalopram, because there's bears.
There's different
There's
ones,
bears, and that one, I'm not gonna lie, it does work for me. So yeah, like what used to happen is I wake up in the morning, then instantly my head will just go into this mad thing of like just all these negative like thoughts and stuff. So what I would then do, and which is why I've been locked in my room for the last 2 years and no one saw me, is I would force myself to sleep to get rid of the thoughts. So what had happen is I'd wake up in the morning, I'm not tired, I've just had a full on 8 hours sleep, but my brain's going to me, oh, how you gonna do this, how you gonna do that, what's this, this and that, oh, you might as well just kill yourself, like, come on, like, well, why are you gonna this and that, no, I can't, like, just sleep, please, go back to sleep to get rid of all that, and then wake up, feel even more groggy, try and watch a little movie or something just to distract yourself, and then I can't sleep at night now because I've slept through the whole day. Then I manage to sleep at 4 a.m, wake up, I'm groggy, I don't want to hear these negative thoughts, go back to sleep. I literally did this, I promise you, for months of like not seeing anyone, and that was it. Bro, it's been raw. Like, no one knows, fam. Like, the only person I know is obviously is Rosie. Even my own brethren's, like, they're only just finding out about this now.
Yeah.
So the antidepressants did get me to a level where it's like, I can get up and it wasn't nothing in my head. I remember the first day, I celebrated like it was like Arsenal won the league, fam. I literally woke up Rosie. I was like, yo. I was like, babe, like, I'm blessed. Like, I'm actually like
sex tries up.
Yeah,
now,
yeah. I was
now.
like, what are you saying?
Yeah.
Wilson's about.
Yeah,
What?
ready.
Ready.
Oh my God.
Come on, cuz.
Strong.
So I just woke up and I was like, yeah. And then literally, like, I realized, like, I was calm for like a whole week or two, and then I had 1 or 2 days where it kind of crept back in.
Yeah.
But then I was like, no. And then I continued taking it. And yeah, ever since then, since like when I've been taking it for about 3-4 months now, I've been blessed. That's why you see me back on music, sharing it down. Thank you, my bro.
My guy, bro.
Thank you, brother.
Trust me.
I'm just happy to be alive, fam.
Yeah, of
like, I've
course.
realized, like, this is it. Like, I could have been dead, and I realized, like, I'm just... When you go through something like that,
Yeah.
nothing anyone can say to me now. Like, I am just so happy to be alive, fam.
Yeah.
Like, I was in the shower this morning, like, and I was just saying, oh, thank you, God, for letting me get in the shower. I was just thanking God for being in the shower because I know that before.
All those little things that you
all
take
these
for
little
granted
things,
and
yeah.
that you're like you appreciate those moments so much more now, innit? Because
Going Tesco and Sainsbury's was a mission
big
for
thing.
me.
Yeah.
And it's down the road, fam. I live, like, literally just off the high street. And I literally was like, no, you can't do it. I'd rather starve myself than to have to face the world and be like, oh, God, no, I'm going to have to go out in public and, I don't really want to, I just don't want to. Bruv, so just being able to go Tesco, Sainsbury's, I'm just bare thankful. Like, just little things like that. So imagine now when I'm now back on music, and that was one of my biggest fears. I was like, I've been off for months now, no one's going to listen to me. Like, that was the biggest thing for me. Came back, did my JDZ freestyle. I'm on BBC One Extra now. Sounds of the Sir Sparrow spinning my thing.
Shout
Come
out
on,
to
fam.
Sir Sparrow
Big up,
as
Shout out
Sir.
to Sir Sparrow,
My
legend,
guy,
legend,
fam.
legend.
Proper.
Thank you, my
He
bro,
was on there
honestly.
spinning off some necks and that. But yeah, man.
Bruv.
Very happy to hear that, man.
Thank you, my
Seriously.
G,
You
I
got my
really-
support, bro.
Oh,
Seriously,
bruv,
man.
that's something that I know for a fact. And that's what I said to all my people. I was like, bruv, you know I'm going on Chucky's thing. And I was like, Chucky's one of the
Stop it,
main
man.
guys.
Stop it.
You, bruv, you one of the main guys who brought me up, them 10-minute voice notes.
Bro, you did it, man. It wasn't me, bro. You did it, man.